Back to the channel. We are in Monroe, Connecticut in search of the grave sites of Ed and Lorraine Warren, the famous ghost hunters, demonologists, the Warrens. Everybody knows the Warrens, even if you don't. The Annabelle series, Haunting in Connecticut, the Conjuring, Amityville Horror, the Warrens were there at every single one of those haunting locations. So what we're gonna do here, it's a really old cemetery. Gonna go try and find their graves. Let's go. Ed and Lorraine Warren were American paranormal investigators and authors associated with prominent cases of alleged hauntings. Ed Warren was a self-taught and self-professed demonologist, author, and lecturer. Lorraine professed to be a clairvoyant and a light trance medium who worked closely with her husband. In 1952, the Warrens founded the New England Society for Psychic Research, the oldest ghost hunting group in New England. They authored many books about the paranormal and about their private investigations into various reports of paranormal activity. They claim to have investigated well over 10,000 cases during their career. The Warrens were among the first investigators in the Amityville haunting.
With hosts Ed and Lorraine Warren, tonight we're going to be speaking about one of the most horrific cases that the Warrens have ever investigated, the Amityville Horror. Now, Ed, can you tell me how you and Lorraine got involved in the Amityville Horror?
Well, it was Marvin Scott from Channel 5 news team. He was the anchorman at the time, and he had been involved with a haunting that we had investigated in Bloomfield, New Jersey, and he was impressed by this. So he gave us a ring and he said, we'd like you to come down and see what's going on in Amityville, Long Island. Now, this was not the Amityville horror case at that time, you understand. This was just another haunted house, and we didn't even realize that 6 people had been murdered in that house of the Fayol family. So we said, sure, we'd come down there, and we did, and that was the beginning of an adventure which we'll never forget, a supernatural adventure.
He told us there had been a tragedy in that home. He didn't go into detail regarding it. He told us that it was a prominent family. He also told us during that very first conversation that the family that were living there at the present time had fled and left all of
Thanks to YouTube and other YouTubers being here, I knew exactly where to look. The cemetery's not that big, but it's a decent size still. So all you do is come in through the main entrance, go directly to the right towards the woods there, and you'll see it. They're right behind me. Let's go pay our respects. And here they are. Wow. Ed and Lorraine Warren. This is something I didn't think I would ever really see, to be honest. But once I knew we were going to be up this way, I had to make it a point. They even have a really nice bench there. You can sit with the Warrens for a while. See some of the sayings they have on there. I'm pretty sure Sunday, Monday, Always was one of Lorraine's favorite songs. If it is a song, I could be wrong. If you know, let me know in the comments down below, or a favorite saying. But their hearts were full of spring. On the side over here, New England Society for Psychic Research. Oh my gosh, they have the Archangel Michael on the side. Saint Michael the Archangel. Defend us in the battle, be our protection against the wickedness and snares of the devil. That is crazy. Yeah, see, and Lorraine, she just died not that long ago in 2019. Wow. Of course, all the crosses and such. So I'm here with Mom, and Mom was with me when we saw Bonnie Parker's gravesite in Dallas, Texas. And now we're up in Monroe, Connecticut, seeing the Warrens. What do you think, Mom? I don't think you'd ever thought you would be here to see this, huh?
No.
It's pretty cool though, huh?
Yeah, it is.
It's beautiful too. We're in October. Leaves are just starting to turn yellow. First week of October. But this is pretty cool. Even rocking that Salem shirt. What I enjoy about visiting like famous graves is, you know, I would never meet these people in person. Like I always go back to when I was in Graceland, saw Elvis Presley's grave. It's like that's the closest I'll ever be to him. But isn't it nuts that Ed and Lorraine are like right underneath us right there? That is crazy. And you know, just like anything else, I'm sure this is the most visited gravesite in this cemetery. But this is their hometown. We're gonna go to their house next. We'll try to anyway. I think it's like 4 minutes down the road, but yeah, Monroe, Connecticut. This is their hometown. Ed and Lorraine, rest in eternal peace. All the good they did, all the people they helped, lives they saved. Such a beautiful part of Connecticut. And of course, Ed and Lorraine wanted to be buried right next to a beautiful white little church. Our Lady of the Rosary Chapel with Jesus at the cross right at the top. Now we're going to take the 4-minute drive to the actual house of Ed and Lorraine Warren. A word of caution if you plan on visiting this house. There is a no entry sign at the beginning of the dead-end street. The neighbors do not like outside visitors and tours. I wanted to be very quick with my filming to avoid any altercations with neighbors. If you do plan on visiting, please be respectful and stick to the road. There are cameras everywhere and private property signs surrounding the house and museum.
This is a collection of items on the occult that have been used in diabolical experiences by many different types of people into black magic, wizardry, sorcery, and so forth.
These are all things that you then would consider evil, Ed?
Oh, positively. In fact, this is not a building that you should be in after 9 o'clock at night. From 9 to 6 are the psychic hours. This is not a Halloween room. This is the real thing.
Okay.
Many of the objects in this room here have had dire effects on people. People have been maimed, have been killed. People have wound up in mental institutions because of many of the things they write in this building here. You have the voodoo dolls, you have the Raggedy Ann doll, which was responsible for the death of a young man who came in here one time, who challenged the doll to do its worst, and it did. Then you have a detective who was almost killed right in this room that we're standing in, and a priest. That's probably the worst thing we have in this whole museum. That Raggedy Ann doll was given to a nurse in 1970 by her mother as a Christmas present. But as most girls do, even 28 years old, she would take the doll to bed with her, wrap her arm around, and go to sleep. I'd do the same thing with a pillow. But then she started taking it to the breakfast nook, where the arms one morning went onto the table. Now, she lived with another nurse, and they shared the expenses of the apartment, which was 4 blocks away from Hartford Hospital.
Right.
At that point, they told the girls about the incident, and one said, "I know a medium." So they held a seance that night. That was the beginning of many seances with this doll. They would come home at night, and the woman had told them, the medium, that there was a spirit of a 6-year-old child in the doll by the name of Annabelle, who had been killed outside of their apartment house in an automobile accident. Well, there was such a child, but God does not allow a child's spirit to go into a doll. This was a devil, a demon, inside the doll, which was impersonating the spirit of a child. Well, they treated it like it was a child. They got extra clothing, and they got different types of bracelets and things for it, just treating it like a little girl. They would take it for rides. But then they started to become frightened when things were happening in the house, sounds, knockings, rappings, whispering. And they said, "Oh, Annabelle must want another seance." So they would hold a seance going deeper down that road of no return. Then they would take the doll and put it on the bedroom, in the bed, and they'd leave it there. They'd come home after midnight, the two girls, open up the door, and this doll would be standing there waiting for them. Now that doll can't stand. You can see it has very flimsy legs, but I've seen it stand. Now these are all the diabolical manifestation.
All right, we're at the Warren Museum. Everything is under private property, this and that. There is their house. I know I'm gonna be super quick about this, but their Annabelle is supposedly in that shed right there. Wow. This is crazy. Oh, that's the Occult Museum right there. And we're seeing the Warren house in person. This is crazy. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I'm here to see this. Yep, right here. That is something. All the private property signs, everything. Glad I'm here to see it though. Well, everyone, that's gonna do it for this video. If you liked it, please remember to like and subscribe. I'll see y'all soon on the Travel Channel. Take care.